Jamie Newman was going to be the Georgia Bulldogs starter going into the 2020 season, but then he opted out. No worries though, USC transfer JT Daniels was going to be the starter, except he wasn't cleared to play. This left DeJuan Mathis as the starting guy, and it finally looked like he was going to get his chance. But then they found themselves trailing against Arkansas, a team who hadn't won an SEC game in 3 years. Many would think the highly touted freshman Carson Beck would step in, but in came Stetson Bennett. The former junior college 3-star recruit was never supposed to see a single snap in Athens, but right now it looks like he could be the starter of the future for the Georgia Bulldogs. So who is this guy and where did he come from? In today's video, we'll be talking about the underdog story of Stetson Bennett and how all of this happened. But first, I put full-time work into this channel, and in order for me to bring you guys daily content, I really need your guys' support. With that being said, every like, comment, share, and just even staying till the end will help me so much. And if you are new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss another upload of mine. Now let's get started with the rise of Stetson Bennett. He saved the day against Arkansas, and Bennett started over Mathis, Daniels, and Beck in their Week 2 matchup with Auburn. Not only did they beat the Tigers, but the Dogs absolutely dominated the game. Bennett was efficient as he threw for over 200 yards and a touchdown, and it looked like he could be the starter for weeks to come. But let's go back in time and tell the story of a player nicknamed the Mailman. Stetson grew up in a poor farm town in Georgia, and the 5'11" guy was always at a disadvantage. The son of a mayor, Bennett was a hard-working kid and had big goals for himself, and that carried onto the football field. At Pierce County High School, Stet would become a star on the field, but he was never highly recruited. He flew over 4,000 miles in 1 year to different camps and always wore a signature mailman hat. Despite going to all those camps and doing everything he could to get noticed, nothing ever really came from it, and he had little to no Power 5 interest. He would decide to stay in state by becoming a walk-on for Georgia. He stepped foot on the campus with the goal of one day leading the Bulldogs to wins in Sanford Stadium, but that idea was very far-fetched. He would take on the role of the scout team quarterback his freshman year, and he embraced every second of it. He took pride in playing against the likes of Roquan Smith and Lorenzo Carter each week, and that was basically their game because none of them were going to be playing on Saturdays. He became a team favorite in the locker room and a personality that everyone loved, but he thought he was going to need to leave so he could play college football someday. After helping the Dogs prepare and beat Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl, Stetson informed the team and the coaching staff that he was going to transfer to a junior college. He would stay in SEC territory as he migrated to Jones County Junior College in Ellisville, Mississippi. His reasoning for leaving was plain and simple. He was never going to play at Georgia. When he arrived on his new campus, he realized it was nothing like Georgia. The dorms were and the facilities weren't anything to write home about, but he had a reason for going there. In his 1 year at junior college, he was not impressive at all, as he only threw 12 touchdowns compared to 14 interceptions, but somehow he had college interest. He was all but inked up to attend Louisiana University, but a late transfer and a decommitment would change everything. Justin Fields left for Ohio State, and high school recruit John Rice Plumlee flipped his commitment to Ole Miss from Georgia, and all of a sudden the Dogs were in desperate need of a quarterback. In what was a weird turn of events, Georgia overlooked Bennett's flaws and knew the potential he had and offered him a late scholarship. He would have to talk to Louisiana head coach Billy Napier, but by the end of the day he was headed back to Athens. He was back in the facilities and big-time setting of Georgia football, but how on earth was he ever going to play? He came in and worked hard in 2019, and he was the backup, and not really much of a factor. He did throw for 2 touchdowns against Murray State, but that was just about it, and that was honestly what was expected of him. Going into 2020, Fromm had left for the draft, and they needed a new quarterback. They brought in former Wake Forest grad transfer Jamie Newman, but he decided to opt out of the season. Former 5-star recruit and USC transfer JT Daniels also came in, but due to his knee injury, he was not cleared for the first week. It was going to come down to 3 guys. Freshman 4-star recruit Carson Beck was an option, but he wasn't likely. Next, you had DeJuan Mathis, who was one of the best stories in college football. He came to Georgia as a highly touted recruit, but a brain tumor almost ended his football career and his life, but Georgia saved him, and he was expected to be the guy. Finally, there was Stetson, the hardworking undersized kid who had been there before. DeJuan was named the starter for the Arkansas game, and it felt like Stetson had let his best opportunity to play slip away. DeJuan struggled mightily in the first half against Arkansas, and looks like Georgia was going to need to do something to change the momentum of the game. Kirby Smart would put in Bennett, and combining him with the stout defense, Bennett completed 20 of 29 passes for 211 yards and 2 touchdowns in their win. Going into their second game, he was once again named the starter, and it was going to be a big game against number 7 Auburn. He'd be super efficient once again, as he completed 17 of 28 passes for 240 yards and a touchdown in their dominating win. So far, it looks like he'll be the starter for the foreseeable future, and it is truly crazy how he has gotten to this point. I'm super pumped to watch Bennett get better throughout the season, and he 100% deserves this. What do you guys think of him and his story? Be sure to let me know down in the comment section, and also who I should do next. And also, if you could, please take a quick moment to hit that like and subscribe button if you're new, and I really appreciate you guys checking out today's video. If you are still here, check out my video about the rise of DeAndre Swift, and my other 2020 college football star videos. Until next time though, peace.